Hello and welcome to the Mixtape podcast. I am your host, Mark. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's show. Before we get into the chat, just very quickly, if you enjoy the show this week, I would absolutely love it if you left a comment or rated the show 5 stars wherever you are listening. You can find all my social media links, my YouTube channel, and the full radio show on demand just by visiting the mixtapepodcast.com, and there you will find over 175 episodes just waiting for you to discover. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you enjoy this week's episode. That was Perfect Little Person, the brand new single, exclusive first play on Radio Fremantle from Autumn Sage. How are you, mate?
I am awesome. How are you, mate?
Delighted to be chatting to you, mate, as always, as always. So, Perfect Little Person, new single. Tell us all about it, mate.
So, Perfect Little Person, I actually started writing this song 16 years ago when my third son was a baby, and we moved house and I lost the piece of paper that I wrote the song on. But I vaguely remembered the chorus and the chords. So a couple of years ago, I sat down and tried to nut it out and ended up going, stuff it, I can't remember it. So I'm just going to kind of rewrite it. So it's actually kind of cool. The song goes through sort of my journey of being a mum 16 years ago up until today. And the mum that I am today is a completely different mum than the one 16 years ago. So yeah, that's how the song came about.
14 years ago, I had no grey hair before my son was born.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true. Just messing with you. That's a great joke for radio, that, isn't it? And your last single, All I Am to You, am I right in like you did it in like a sort of a more DIY recording style as opposed to going in a studio and, you know, polishing it all up and all that? Tell us about that and what led you to that decision?
Yep. So those songs and some others that I've recorded, I've done just basically live recordings of them. The first 2 singles I released, I did the full, got them properly produced, mixed, mastered and everything, which was awesome. And I'm so proud of those 2 songs. But it's just not possible for me to keep doing that. I wish it was, and things may change, something might come up and money appears or a grant appears or something like that. But for the moment, I don't have the capability of dropping a couple of grand on every song. I've got 6 kids. I am out of work, so it's just not possible. So I spent a few months feeling sad and sorry for myself, and then I just went, I still need to keep getting my music out there. So I'm going to do the best I can with what I have, and I've got basic recording equipment at home. And so I decided I'm calling it the Notebook Sessions. It's a series of 3 EPs that I'm going to release over the next year or so. And yeah, all recorded live in my home, and some of the songs with Alex and Shayna, some of them by myself. Yeah, just because I've got all these songs and they need to get out there. I've just got this, like, I could keep them to myself, but I'm not being selfish. I want to give them to No, they need to get out there in the world. So This is how I'm doing it.
You know what, mate, though? I don't think people put as much these days emphasis on flash production and, you know, sound as they do the content and the lyrics and the melody and the way a song makes you feel. Do you know what I mean? I've never once heard a song that I loved and went, that was a bit of a ropey recording. Never.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I think there's a lot more emphasis on, you know, being real and, you know, like you just talked about there, how it is for you to record these songs and getting them out there. I think people identify and connect with that a lot more than they do, you know, $2,000 worth of mastering and, you know, whatever, and a flash sounding recording. Yeah, I think you're doing absolutely the right thing, mate, 100%. Yeah, and I think, like, as we heard at the start of the show, sounds amazing. So, yeah, you mentioned Alex and what's the other one called? The other Leaf?
Shayna.
Yeah. So I called them Leafs. Right, so you play live You play live with Autumn Sage and the Autumn Leaves. Do you always play with them, or do you sometimes still do solos, just you?
Sometimes still do solo. My preference is always to play with them because, yeah, like you were there on at the gig at Midland Records the other day, and it just they bring my songs to life in a way that, like, my songs are like I do think my songs are good enough to stand on their own, but with the addition of Alex and Shayna, it just makes it so much, yeah, makes them so much better.
You write with them in mind now, or do you still just write as a solo?
No, I have started writing with them in mind. In fact, when I started writing again a few years ago, the first couple of songs I wrote, I was like, I really need a cello with this. And every song I'd write, I was like, God, I really need a cello. And so, yeah, I put out a call out on Facebook, and Alex put his hand up, and yeah, and I am so grateful that he put his hand up and no one else, because he is perfect. His ear is made for my music.
And talking about the live shows, where can people hear you next, mate? Anything coming up in the future?
Yeah, hold on, I wrote it down because
Let's talk short term plans first, and then we'll get on to longer term plans after that because it's a big one.
Yep, yep. Next gig is actually super exciting. I am in the finals for the songwriting prize, the Listen Up Music Songwriting Prize.
Yeah.
So 24th of July at Clancy's. Yeah, you have no idea how excited I am about that. And then next month, I am playing at the Valley Social on, what did we say, the 12th of August. That's going to be for WA Music Week. Still not sure of the whole lineup for that, but yeah, that's another really cool gig that's coming up. So, yeah.
Right, longer term then, right? Let's talk about the big one, the highlight of your live year, I imagine. I'm sure it is. The Mixtape Live. The Mixtape
That
Live.
that is a very exciting gig that we're already practicing for, like Shayna and Alex and I, we're already in rehearsals for it. I've got in mind what we're going to be doing. So yeah, no, super excited for that.
So just to give people a bit of a rough idea of the concept of the Mixtape Live. So what we're doing now is the mixtape, the bog standard mixtape where you choose your songs and then I play the songs on the radio. The Mixtape Live, when you pick your songs, the artist has to do a live cover version of that song and we do the interview live on stage. The next one's happening at the Lyrics Underground on November the 8th. The tickets aren't out there yet because we haven't finalised the lineup and everything else, but it will be soon. So yeah, keep your eye on that on the socials. There is a Facebook event out there already. Just have a look for the Mixtape Live, and I'm sure you'll find it. I don't want to ask you for a sneak peek. I won't ask you till nearer the time of what songs you're thinking of doing. But yeah, I've got to give you the categories as well because there's 6 other categories. You don't have to just stick to these 6 because I give people
Okay.
the B-side categories as well. So you got other categories to choose from. So it might open up some other avenues for you as well. But yeah, super stoked to be bringing it to Lyrics this time because I love that venue and I think it's perfectly
Excellent.
suited for that sort of vibe with the chairs and tables, and I get some little candles out and that, and everyone will be, yeah, I'll be loving it. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Really, really looking forward to it. So thanks for saying yes, Steph. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Buzzing for that. Right, let's talk about merch, mate, because that's something that you sort of got involved in recently, and it's always a great way of supporting independent artists. So what merch have you got and where can people get it from?
So I've got a few bits and pieces now. I like to I like to give people a range of things because I mean a range of budgets and a range of things that people might actually like to buy. Because like I don't want to just go to a show and buy something that I really don't actually want. So I've got my t-shirts, which I love, and they are available on my website. In fact, everything's available on my website. So the t-shirts, I've got tote bags, I've got CD singles of the first 2 songs that I released. You can also download digital versions of my songs on my website as well. And if you want to, you can pay a fee. You don't have to if you don't want to. And also, I've got my notebooks. So because I'm doing the notebook sessions, I've released these notebooks, which is the same notebook that I actually wrote the last couple of songs that I've written in. The exact same notebook. I bought some more of those and I've hand inscribed them and they're wrapped up in a pretty bow, and yeah, so they're available for anyone to buy because yeah, there's not much money in this and every little bit helps. There's always little bits that need to be purchased and to just be able to keep this train moving along, so any little bit helps.
Fantastic. And the website, autumnsage.com.au?
That's the one.
And is it Autumn Sage Music on the socials?
Yes, yeah, on yeah, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. Yep.
It's staggering how good I am at remembering people's
Good
Instagram and
job.
Facebook, and I know it so much. Can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I know everyone's Insta handles. All right, let's do the quick fire five, mate.
All right.
Let's get into that. Right, first of all, do you have a pre-show ritual?
Yes, I do. I have I've got a thing that I've got on my phone that, hold on, that I read to myself before every show. I sort of backstage take a breath and say, I'm safe. The stage gives me permission to share. I'm sharing my stories, not chasing perfection. My stories matter, and the people who need them will hear them. Just to sort of ground myself. I still get quite nervous putting my heart out on a platter for people's, and struggle to remember that people actually want to hear my music. So yeah, I just remind myself of that. I'm getting better.
Yeah, no, that is one of the best pre-show rituals I've ever had on the show. That's a great one. I love that. And what was the first album you ever bought, Steph?
It has a Jagged Little Pill by Alanis. That is pretty much the foundation of who I am as a person, is that album.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. There, I think I asked you this before. I asked you when we did it on Black Swan White Noise about,
Yep.
was it you? I asked about the hidden track at the end.
Yeah.
That sort of
Yep.
like reveals like the reason for the angst and the anger and the sweary
Mhm.
songs. Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. That's well worth checking out. Ever had any onstage disasters?
Disasters. I mean, so there was a gig very recently. I'm not going to name the gig, but the sound person was awful. I've had really good experiences across the board, almost with all soundies, but this soundie was terrible. And all three of us, we couldn't hear a thing. We couldn't hear each other. We couldn't hear ourselves. And yeah, and it was not our best performance. Yeah, it kind of sucks because like everything's riding on the sound person. If we can't hear ourselves, we're kind of stuffed. But anyway, we put on the best performance we could.
I'll tell Sean she's got to up her game.
No, it definitely was not
Joking,
that one.
joking, joking, Sean. Definitely that was a joke. I was at that gig and it was sounded perfect. So yeah,
Yeah.
no worries at all. That's one of the reasons why I chose lyrics for the mixtape live, because of the sound is there. He's always,
Yeah,
always good.
always.
They even made me sound good when I sang there last time. Yeah, that's how good they are. Talking of venues, what's your favourite Perth or WA venue?
I reckon I reckon it'd probably have to be Hybrid Warehouse.
Mm.
It's I don't know, I guess it's kind of my vibe. It just That's the kind of place that I actually wanna hang out, and yeah, and it's like a nice, comfortable place, and the couple of times that I've played there have just felt really warm and inviting, so yeah.
Talking about warm, it's the only thing I don't like about it is because I'm old now. Because I'm old now. If you go there in the winter, the roller shutter door is sort of like the entrance, isn't it? To because it's essentially the clues in the title, a warehouse, and it don't half get chilly in there at night.
This is very true.
I'm not gonna lie, but otherwise, yeah, I agree. Like, totally great vibe, great venue, yeah, for sure, fantastic. And if you could time travel to any concert in history, which concert would you choose?
I'm gonna be a complete nerd here. It would be the first performance of Beethoven's Sixth Symphony. It is my favorite piece of music ever, and I can only imagine that everyone in the crowd just had to be in tears by the end of it. I don't know how they could not be.
Never had Beethoven. I think, do you know what? Someone might have picked Mozart before. Yeah, some other nerd. Yeah.
There's some of us out there.
So you gonna do a live track for us now? What you can do for us?
Am I allowed to say the S word? Um,
Yes, you are.
okay, this track is called Up Shit Creek.
When you're ready, mate, take it away. All right, mixtape tracks, Steph.
Yep.
As you know, the show's called The Mixtape, and I get people on and get them to make up a mixtape as a way of exploring their influences and inspirations. Track one of your mixtape, Attention Grabber. What did you go with there, mate?
Right, you are gonna get, like, I'm just letting you know, you are getting the full range of genres in this mixtape.
That's what the that's what it's all about, mate. You know the guests I have on the shows, one week to the next. It can be metal, it can be folk, it's whatever, yeah.
Alright, so Attention Grabber, Killing in the Name of. That's
Great
yeah,
choice.
yeah.
Yeah, love it.
I love that song. My
Excellent.
school band played that in year 12, and it was the best.
Did you swear? Did you drop the F-bomb?
No, we weren't what did we say?
Boring.
"Stuff you," I think. It was a Catholic school is the best we could do, but
Do you know the story about, the X Factor in the UK and it not getting to Christmas number 1?
Oh, really?
So every year, for like 5 or 6 years on the spin. Simon Cowell and whatever puppet he had out that year would nail the Christmas #1 spot, right? Because they'd time it so that the show ended like the week before Christmas. The single would come out and it'd sell millions and it'd be the Christmas #1. That back in the day when that was quite a coveted thing to have, a Christmas #1, right? It was a good
Yeah.
thing to have, right? And I know people slag off social media, but this is one of the greatest uses of social media ever. So what they did was this guy, he worked in music, but in marketing somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where. I can't remember his name now. But him and his wife started a Facebook campaign. This was pre-Insta. This is like, what would it have been? Oh, early mid-2000s, right? Just Facebook had just come out like 2005, 2006. It was quite new. And he started a Facebook campaign to stop the X Factor getting to #1. Right, and it was sort of the early advent of downloads as well, where downloads had only just started being counted towards the chart, right? So it was quite an easy thing to get people to do. And the song that they chose to knock the X Factor off #1 was "Killing in the Name." So he had to get everybody just piled on, right? Absolutely everybody piled on, right? And it smashed the X Factor out of the park, right, for Christmas #1.
Awesome.
But the best bit about it was the week running up to, like, so the week before Christmas when it was in the news, like, and once it started getting in the news, that's it. You've done your job then. It's on the nighttime news. It's gonna, it's just took on a life of its own, like the whole campaign.
Yeah.
And they went, Rage Against the Machine were in LA, and they did a live link up with BBC Breakfast Radio, right, to do the song live. And you know where I'm going with this, right? It's the BBC. And the presenter, dead set, and it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube if you want to go and look at it, right? The presenter's going, "You're not going to swear, are you? Because it's breakfast time, blah, blah." And they went, no, we definitely won't swear. We definitely won't swear. Right. And then you know what happened, right?
Of course.
Within 10 seconds, and then they're all scrambling on the faders, and you can hear them going, "Get them off, get them off." And
That's awesome.
of course, that just amped up the publicity like a
but also that is
times.
pure Rage Against the Machine. Like, it's perfect.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to swear on the radio, are you? And the lyric for anyone who's not familiar is "Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me," right? Yeah, so there you go. I have to bleep myself. I've never bleeped myself out before, but it's part of the story I'm quoting, so it don't count. And then and then in that week as well, what Rage Against the Machine said, if we get to Christmas #1, we'll come to London and play a free show in Hyde Park, and they did as well. And that was just one of the greatest moments of British music history for me. And then Simon Cowell tried to win still by offering the geezer who done the campaign a job at his label, and he went, "Nah, I'm all right."
Nah, good on him.
Brilliant. Yeah, that was great. That was a great one. All right, track 2, Steph. What's the song you sing in the car or the shower?
Okay, so this one going to pretty much the opposite end of the spectrum of genres. This is a song that I love and that I actually used to warm up for gigs, on my way to gigs in the car. "Anytime You Need a Friend" by Mariah Carey.
Wouldn't have put you as a Mariah Carey fan.
I know, but I loved that album to pieces.
Is it easy to get them notes? Is that a car one or a shower one? Is it easier in the shower with the steam and the tiles?
Yeah, no, the steam definitely helps wake up the vocal cords.
Track 3, what's your favourite cover version, mate?
Okay, skipping genres completely again. Harry Connick Jr., his cover of Danny Boy is the most beautiful thing. The first time I heard that, I just sobbed through the whole thing. It's so beautiful.
That song got ruined for me by a British comedian called Peter Kay, and he did a routine where he sang that with a helium balloon. And it just totally ruined it. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, I can't hear it. I can't hear it no more without thinking of that. Yeah.
Oh, maybe Harry Connick Jr. will bring it back for you.
All right. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. Track 4, mate. And what's a song you wish you could play to your 18-year-old self?
So this is a song that was just released a few months ago. I don't know if you've heard of Victoria Canal. She's, I think she's American. She's an incredible singer, incredible musician. And she released a song called Dogs, which is about the patriarchy. And yeah, I want my 18-year-old self I wish my 18-year-old self had her eyes opened to the world and what it actually was. And that song does it.
What was the 18-year-old Autumn Sage actually listening to, mate?
18-year-old was absolutely listening to a lot of Silverchair. That would have been Diorama, the year I turned 18, I reckon. Silverchair, Powderfinger, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, completed opposite of Mariah Carey, Harry Connick Jr. But then I've
That's
listened
great,
to
mate.
him as well.
That's great. That's what the mixtape's for. It's genre free. Yeah. Track 5, a love song for a romantic interest. You were making up a mixtape for someone. What would you choose for that?
Okay. So I only have one love interest. I've only had one love interest for a very, very long time, and he wouldn't like any of the songs that I like. So the song that I would choose for him would be "Careless Whisper" because it's his favorite song. So
I find that really strange, mate, that you're so like music's so much a massive part of who you are, but you're like sort of in a really, really long term sort of marriage with someone who's not like into music. Like,
not a
how does that work?
musician.
Yeah.
It works really well. I dated musicians, and it. Look, I know that people can make it work, but I know it's very fiery. When you got two musicians, you got two egos. No, that's not all that musicians are, but I need his grounding. I need someone to ground me because otherwise I would God knows what I'd be doing if I didn't have Graham.
Fantastic. Finally, Steph, a deep cut album track or B-side. What did you choose for that?
So I am choosing from the Cranberries album, No Need to Argue, the song No Need to Argue, which was like the Alanis album was like a secret song at the end of it. And I love that song. It's so beautiful. And yeah, and I actually have spoken to a few people who say they love that album, but have never actually heard that song because they didn't actually listen all the way through to the end.
That's a great one. That's a problem. There's many problems, obviously, with streaming and, Spotify and stuff like that. But one of the things that's died out over the years is the hidden track on the end of the CD. And I remember
Every
that.
CD I got for years, I would regardless of whether I knew there was one or wouldn't, I would listen to the end of it just in case.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that album, that No Need to Argue album, that was a really big one for me because what would I be like? 21-year-old me wouldn't listen to anything pre 1985. Like I was not interested. It was just blues rock all the way. AC/DC, Cream, Hendrix. Do you know what I mean? John Mayall, early Fleetwood Mac, like that. And anything after that was rubbish. Right? I wasn't interested. And then
Yep.
I was in McDonald's in Grays where I grew up, upstairs, and some person had control of the music they were playing in the restaurant, and they played "I Can't Be With You" off that album. And I heard that, and then that followed that up with "The Bends," right, by Radiohead, because they were both out at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Who is this? What is this? Like, this is amazing!" And that was me. That was my moment of like, "Oh, actually, no, there's some pretty decent music about it." And I was just in time for like Oasis, Blur, Heart.
That was
You know what I mean? Like,
that was the best period of
massive,
time, those
yeah.
few years, yeah.
That I always say to people with the 90s for me were like what I imagine what the 60s were like in terms of like brilliant, amazing music. Like if you even go back to
Amazing.
1990, you get that meme that comes out on social media quite a lot. I think you had Soundgarden, Smells Like Teen Spirit, 10 by Pearl Jam, Black Album, Metallica, all within like 3 or 4 months of each other. All
Yeah.
came out. So like, man, yeah, the 90s were awesome. Yeah, fantastic. And you're going to do a second live track for us now. What are you going to do for us this time, mate?
This one is called All I Am to You.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's mixtape. If you enjoyed this show, then please subscribe to the podcast, rate it 5 stars, or leave comment on whichever platform you are listening. And don't forget, you can check out over 175 archive episodes just by visiting themixtapepodcast.com. There you'll also find social media links, YouTube channel, and the radio show, including the songs chosen by this week's guest. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.